We lived in a world of chaos. The whole world, our nation, our state, our villages, our homes, and even in our personal lives. And hopefully I'll give you my view anyway on how to make the most of it, to how to have a better life in spite of all that's going on. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but I thought I'd offer something. But before I do that, I want to share with you what has been on my mind. You know, I'm 76 years old. Lord willing, one day I may even be 85. You know, and we've been thinking about, you know, what is my value as an older man? You know, my value to other people, my value to the Lord. What am I supposed to do with the remainder of my life? Am I to just be content with what I have and just live out the rest of my life in solitude, or disassociated from the rest of the world and just have a good time and doing what Roger likes to do? And I could do that. But I believe my life has greater value than that. Most of you know that I live in a Bible camp and I proclaim to be a Christian. I proclaim to love God, and I do, and I proclaim to love people, and sometimes that's hard to do, but that is my desire. And my desire in making this video is to hopefully encourage you to have a fuller life and a way to go about it. You know, we don't live in a perfect world, you know, and no one has except two individuals. And that was Adam and Eve when God created everything in chapter 1, chapter 2 of Genesis. And in essence, he created things, and he said all these things, basically he said all these things were good, very good. You know, and Adam was part of that very good. You know, but Adam wasn't full. He wasn't complete. As the other animals, other God's creation, there was male and female. And for Adam, it was just himself. And so Adam didn't probably feel complete. And so God created a woman for him. He created the woman as a helper for Adam to live in this world without chaos, this perfect world that God created for Adam. And for Adam, all Adam's needs were fulfilled. He didn't need anything. He should have been completely satisfied. He was fulfilled completely to all of his needs. He was given a woman. But as a helper, implied in that, Adam had some responsibility. Again, he had some what? Responsibility. One, the first responsibility, of course, is Adam's relationship with God. You know, and God created Adam for God's benefit, for his glorification. And Adam was to live on that creation that God created, to do things to glorify God. And so when Adam was given a wife, Eve, their responsibility, their expectation was to do things on God's creation, to do things that glorify God. However, for reasons God can only explain, and I'm not going to get into it here, but God put a one little restriction on it. Of all the things that he's given God, God told Adam that you can't eat from this one tree. It's and they commanded. It's a commandment to not to eat from this tree. But anyway, so that's the only thing that they had going there that they were not supposed to do. Well, Adam, the devil, which pre-existed Adam, connived or lied to Eve. He didn't attack Adam directly; he attacked the helper. Okay, and so in that attack, Adam didn't fulfill his responsibility to care for his helper, to protect his helper, and to avoid things that wouldn't be God glorifying. In this case, through Eve, God's command to not eat from the tree was broken. Adam and Eve became disobedient to God's command. And therein lies the problem, our chaos today, our disobedience to God's expectations, God's commands. You know, and then when God approached Adam and Eve, in fact, I'll read the scriptures to you, and it's in chapter 3, and they had eaten of the fruit from the tree. In verse 7 in chapter 3 it says, "Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loin coverings." Verse 8, "They heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord called out to the man." Notice he called out to the man, okay? "And said to him, 'Where are you?' And he said," that's Adam, "I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself." And he, that's God, said, "Who told you you were naked?" Okay, very next sentence. "Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you to not eat?" Okay, Adam didn't say yes. Yes, we did. We disobeyed you. No, he said, here's what he said, right, verse 12. The man said, "The woman whom you gave me to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate." Adam blamed, not Eve, didn't blame himself, didn't accept responsibility. He blamed God. "God, it's because of that woman you gave me. I disobeyed." Okay? He blaming. You know, God set some expectations, set some responsibility for Adam. I contend the reason we have so much chaos in our world, our nation, our state, our villages, and our homes, and even our own lives, is our disobedience of God's command to love Him with all our mind, soul, and our heart, and to love your fellow man. That's the expectation that God expects from us. In that, we have disobeyed. We have not accepted personal responsibility for carrying out what God has designed us to be. God-fearing, God-loving people. Loving people, loving other people. And it's our disobedience, of not taking personal responsibility of all the things that God gave us in life and not fulfilling what God expects us to do with His blessings that He gives us. And after this, I'm going to talk probably on other things along the line of personal responsibility. Thank you for watching.